Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Mother, a Korean dramatic thriller from 2009 that stars Kim Hye-ja and Won. It was directed by Bong Joon-ho. I've only seen this movie one time, a long time ago, so I was keen on revisiting it because I've been wondering where this film sits in this director's filmography, like where I would rank it. I think, based on memory, I considered it to be in his top 4 or 5 films, which is a very good thing, because this director has a very strong filmography. But let's take a look here. Now, an unnamed widow lives alone with her only son, selling medicinal herbs in a small town in southern South Korea while conducting unlicensed acupuncture treatments. Her son is shy, but prone to attacking anyone who mocks his intellectual disability. She dotes on him and scolds him for hanging out with a local thug, but when the son is nearly hit by a car, he and the thug vandalize the car and attack the driver and passengers as revenge. The son is subsequently sued for damages, and the mother struggles with the burden of the debt, but her problems have only just begun. Now, the opening scene of this movie is actually a little weird. You know, our main character, this older woman, she walks across like this beautiful field and then just starts dancing for like no apparent reason. You're kind of like, is this movie going to be kind of weird or what? It's really not. In any case, the plot plays out within the opening 15 minutes. After that, a murder occurs and the son is blamed for it. He's thrown in prison, but the mother attempts to help him any way that she can. So this is kind of an entry in the Korean dramatic thriller genre that avoids police investigation for a more personal layperson protagonist. And we've actually seen this plenty of times within the Italian giallo genre, if you're familiar with those films from like the 1970s. You know, sometimes the detective will investigate the murder, but a lot of times it's like a layperson or a normal citizen who gets involved and tries to solve it, which is pretty cool. So in this case, the mother needs to conduct her own investigation, since the cops consider the case pretty much closed. So the search for evidence is kept at pretty basic levels, but the script is very effective, and there are some moments of slow burn suspense. The second half, I think, is even more thrilling than the first, with a few relatively shocking moments to enjoy. I think, to summarize the story in this, I just really liked it. You know, you have two characters that are kind of oddball. You know, the mother is normal enough to be functional, but the son is very, like, dim-witted, you know what I mean? Because he has a disability, a learning disability. And at one point, he attempts to pay his alcohol bill at a local bar by giving the owner some used golf balls. And that just gives you an idea, you know, of what we're dealing with. But there is quite a bit of nuance to this film, you know, both in terms of how the plot unfolds, as well as the mother's psychological trauma that manifests as events play out. You know, some things are not explicitly said as well, but instead inferred, and that's a very effective filmmaking strategy. You know, no spoilers, of course, but there are consequences to things that happen in the movie, especially in how the characters view one another. Acting is very good. Characters like this could become annoying very easily if they like mug for the camera too much or the direction isn't assured. There's a little bit of that at the start, but they rein it in and give legitimate, realistic performances. You know, Kim Hye-ja is a pretty celebrated actress in her home country with a rich history of roles, but I really haven't seen a lot of her stuff, personally. Much of her appearances were in like older Korean movies that are not easy to find anymore, or K-dramas that have significant time investments, but she's really good in this. Not an easy performance as well to like pull off, but she does it. And I've read that Bong Joon-ho was apparently a big fan of the actress and kind of modeled the character for her to play. And then we have Won, who, you know, is extremely talented. And 1 year after this movie came out, he went on to play the very cool, badass hitman in The Man from Nowhere. And his acting in Mother is like on the opposite side of the spectrum. I mean, this is an actor, just within these two films, you can see has a lot of range. Very vulnerable character in this film, and in desperate need for his mother's help to kind of beat the criminal charges that have been thrown at him. And then as an added bonus, some of the supporting characters will be very recognizable, but I won't tell you who they are. I'll let you discover them for yourself if you're familiar with the industry. Direction is obviously good. The opening shot of the movie, as I mentioned, is pretty awesome. And with that open feel, just the way it's shot is great. And outside of that shot, my second favorite shot of the film involves a character who sets fire to a house in the woods. And it looks like they used real fire in the scene. And it seemed to be shot in a single take as well. So it was pretty... I'm not sure how they set that up or did it. It would be really interesting to see like a behind the scenes of how they shot that scene, because it looked kind of dangerous. But after rewatching this, I still think that Mother is in the upper echelon of this director's films. I think, my personal favorites, probably Memories of Murder, The Host, and Barking Dogs Never Bite, which a lot of people don't like that much. I just really like that movie. And then after that, it's like a battle between Mother and Parasite for number 4. So yeah, this is, if you're in the process of exploring this director, Mother is a film that kind of flies a little bit under the radar for people. A lot of people will watch, Memories of Murder, The Host, Parasite, but Mother is really good quality, and make sure you don't miss this if you're exploring this director. And I think it's available both on streaming and on physical media. And as always, I'll see you next time.